What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines. And today we're going to answer the question, can the Suns and the Warriors measure up to the Lakers? Let's get into it.
The Phoenix Suns have basically brought back their entire core from last season. Do you think it's enough to be successful and to compete against the Los Angeles Lakers?
I think that during the regular season, I can see the Phoenix Suns with this core on their roster win a game against the Los Angeles Lakers in the regular season. What I don't see is in the playoffs, not a 7-game series. Not with the current, not with the renewed roster of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
This Phoenix Suns core, this team was very successful in 2021. I just don't know if it's going to be enough with the pieces that the Lakers have added to their roster for this upcoming 2022 season. That is something I'm saying. So, yes, I know that the Phoenix Suns added Landry Shamet and they added JaVale McGee and they added another piece. But the core, although solid, and think about it, this particular core on the Suns was the same core except for Chris Paul that was also in the bubble. So their time playing together and the chemistry that they've been able to build, I think is very admirable for their organization. I just don't know if 2022 season is enough.
Okay. I think that's fair. However, I think the Suns can measure up simply because of their youth. You know, it's the elephant in the room with the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody in the starting lineup is 32 years plus. I think the Suns can literally be successful against the Lakers because they have better perimeter shooting. I mean, if you look at it, Devin Booker, Chris Paul even campaign on the second squad. The Lakers don't have really good perimeter shooting, and that's why they added Wayne Ellington, I think. But that's still not going to be enough.
Yeah, I can see that. So I'm not saying that they won't be successful. I think when I look at the season, I look at it in two parts, the regular season and then the postseason. Because if anybody watches basketball, you know that the regular season can be a fool's gold.
Right.
You will think that the team is going to really thrive in the postseason, and they get to the postseason. And when these 7-game series start to happen, then you see teams that unfold, or you see players that don't show up, that showed up in the regular season. So what I'm saying is that I do believe the Phoenix Suns, I agree with everything that you said about their young core. I think that their young core will be that thing, that element that will get them over. What I do believe also is that the Los Angeles Lakers experience, that veteran experience that they have on their roster, will be their superpower in the long run. Right. And I can say that one of the things that may impact the Lakers is that this core that they have created on their roster haven't all played together, which is a benefit that the Phoenix Suns will experience when this new season begins. So it's about the regular season and the postseason. I believe the regular season, yes. I also believe that this core will get to the playoffs again. I believe that. And I also believe that the Phoenix Suns will be at least top 6 for the 2022 postseason. I believe that. When it's time to now compete in a 7-game series, right, against the Los Angeles Lakers, that's where my questions come. Again, this is all roster. I haven't seen any of them play this season, right? So once that starts, things may change. But as I look at the roster today, I'm just like, something I need to kind of weigh out before I can make an assessment whether or not they can measure up in the postseason. That's just
okay. All right. So look, let's take a look at the individual matchups or individual comparisons, player comparisons. At point guard is CP3 and Russell Westbrook. On any given day, I mean, who are you taking to lead you, you know?
It will probably be CP because I believe that he is more efficient. Although Russell is good, sometimes his ball don't make the basket, right? And it can be a detriment to a team. Now we're talking about his speed, though. I mean, it's unmatched. Chris Paul can't hang with that.
Oh, please.
He can't hang with that. And I think that is another advantage that the Suns will have against the Lakers is their speed. the Lakers, now the veterans they are, and their experience will be their superpowers, but their knees will be their kryptonite. So,
Right.
so we have to kind of, it's all of the things, right? So yeah, I just think that I will take Chris Paul for efficiency, although Russell Westbrook's speed and drive
and aggression.
Yeah,
Chris Paul ain't ready for that,
No,
and now that Russ is in the Western Conference with Chris Paul, they're going to play each other 4 times, I believe.
I know.
So, and I think also we have to consider that we don't know if these teams are really going to be healthy as the season goes on, which of course tells us where they will land in the playoffs. I think that's the big elephant in the room as it relates to that. Now, Devin Booker, we know he's superstar status. The Phoenix Suns, I think Devin Booker will take a big leap for next season. Yeah, he better. He better. And, Lakers only have Wayne Ellington as shooting guard and THT. So
he should. I think I'm not concerned about Devin Booker on offense. I'm sorry. No, I am concerned about Devin Booker on offense. I don't want the defense to snatch balls out of his hand. Not this upcoming season. No, I don't want to see another Drew Holiday thing happen to him. So I just think that I agree. I think that he will be much stronger. That experience he had in the 2021 finals will help him, right? Fix the holes or gaps, small minor gaps he may have in his game. So I think he'll be much better in that regard. But I agree, shooting will not be enough. It just will not be enough because for some reason, who you think is going to be a sniper in the postseason ends up not being the sniper, i.e. Joe Harris. I'm just saying, go on and on. So let's just be careful how we put expectations on these players, because once the postseason starts, it's just like, are you even on the court?
I know. It's night and day.
Night and day. And I get it. We're talking about this year, it'd be 82 games. Last season, it'd be 82 this upcoming season. So I get it. Injuries and fatigue and all those things. And so that's why it's important to create a roster that has depth. Now, if we talk about the Phoenix Suns' depth against the Los Angeles Lakers' depth, what do you think about that?
Well, I kind of like it. Now they have Landry Shamet. Cam Johnson is waiting to get his minutes. Campaign. I like it. JaVale McGee is going to be on the second squad, backing up DeAndre,
which they
like
need. Yeah. I think that was one of the gaps that the Phoenix Suns had in the 2021 postseason, is that DeAndre Ayton sometimes was hit and miss. They needed someone else to be able to come in and kind of save him a little bit. Give him some time and then to get back out. I'm not saying DeAndre Ayton should not be starting. Yes, he should be starting, but there needs to be somebody else with some veteran leadership. And I think JaVale McGee will bring that. So I agree. And it's funny, if anybody's watching the previous videos, you weren't too fond of Torrey Craig. So perhaps Landry Shamet can be the one to, replace, supplement, if you will, that piece that Torrey Craig may have played in 2021.
Yeah. I think Landry Shamet he's solid, and playing in Brooklyn, I think was a really good experience for him, and the Clippers prior. I think he can take all of that, bring it to the Phoenix Suns and be an effective member of the bench unit.
Yeah. Does the Phoenix Suns in this phase, based off of roster construction only, measure up to the Lakers?
For me?
For you what? Go ahead. For you what?
Yeah, for me, I would say yes. Now, I'm not saying they will win in a 7-game series, but what I am saying is throughout the regular season, I think the Lakers will know, we better watch out for those boys. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yes. And I also think that the Lakers roster was constructed to supplement potential injuries from AD and LeBron. Because if you think about it, if you think about it, once LeBron and AD went down, in the 2021 season, the Lakers team, they might as well have just packed it on up. Just shut down. Just shut down for the season, right? Yeah. So hopefully with the pieces that they brought in and the longevity and the veteran leadership, and the whole terms everybody use, maybe that will be enough to support or maintain the Lakers' standing as the season progresses. We'll see.
Yeah, well, speaking of Anthony Davis, he's actually the youngest person in the starting lineup, at least the projected starting lineup at
Starting
28
lineup, yes.
years old.
Yeah.
But backing him up is Carmelo Anthony. We forgot all about him. I mean, but he's 37. I mean, how? I didn't realize Carmelo was so seasoned.
Oh, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah. You know what though? But they still have THT, right, on their roster. He's about the youngest. I think he's 20.
Yeah.
He's the youngest. They also have this other dude with Malik Monk.
Oh, I like Monk from Charlotte. Yeah.
So there are pieces that the Frank Vogel, if he is strategic enough, and if he coaches well, that he can move in and out, that can help change the roster or the starting lineup or the secondaries or however they come off the bench, which can give other teams pause when they play against them because they won't be ready for it. So I just think that the Lakers team is more solid than it was in the previous season when I look at how they constructed it. But again, we won't know until they play. So.
Okay, let's talk quickly about Frank Vogel. The Lakers extended him over the offseason. I was a little surprised. I mean, what exactly about him do you think the Lakers organization management really likes about him?
He's a family friend. I believe he is I don't know for sure. I believe he's just a family friend that they're looking out for. Yes, I believe that. I believe that. I don't believe it is necessarily his coaching ability.
No, he's not coaching that team. LeBron is. Right?
He's not. No, but I believe he's a family friend, and I believe that's just what it is. And you know what? Hey, if you can get in where you fit in, it happens all the time. So why can't he reap the benefits of that? But I don't believe the wins that the Lakers have. And also, when we're talking about veterans on the team, who you really coaching? To be honest. Because I'm quite sure you say one thing, they'd be like, okay, listen, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see it. So I don't know. But if they extended him, I just believe he's a family friend and they're help supporting him.
Okay. Marc Gasol is supposed to be in the starting lineup, but Dwight Howard is a nice replacement.
I actually saw on NBA.com that Dwight Howard was the starting lineup and Marc Gasol was secondary to him.
Okay, I like that better.
So, but at the end of the day, Marc Gasol, hopefully you'll see some time because I don't know what happened. Oh, they was like, you go sit down.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I was like, that's so wrong. But I'm not mad at the two, even if one starts and the other. They're interchangeable. And I think they'll both be beneficial on the Lakers roster, on the floor during all the games. But, who starts and who finishes,
Yeah, at least Mark will give you, some 3 balls. Dwight Howard's not going to give you that. He's going to give you toughness in the paint, a couple rebounds and kickouts, but that's it. Mark likes to kind of hang out on the perimeter because he don't want no smoke, right? So the Golden State Warriors are probably finally back intact with Klay Thompson coming back at the start of the season. Not at the very start, but I heard he's going to be playing somewhere around Christmas. But now that they at least have their core on the horizon, the core that they've won the championships with, can they measure up to the Los Angeles Lakers?
Yes. I think they can measure up. I say yes, only because that core has been successful. And when I'm saying the core, I'm talking about also the insertion of Andre Iguodala. He's back. So when you think about the team, the Warriors team that won the championship in 2015, 17 and 18, we're talking about like Curry, Klay, Iguodala, Draymond.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Looney. Yes. The only person that's missing really from the core is Sean Livingston.
Well, KD too, 2017, 2018.
Let me just, but I'm going to say this, that core, right? Yeah. At least won 2015. Right. Okay. So they're back together again. Oh, back together again. I can say that the missing piece for this current Warriors team is KD.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the core is together, that 2017-18 championship wins, it was okay. It was okay. But check this out. Do you not know that the Warriors have not made it to the postseason in the past 2 seasons? In the past 2 seasons, Klay Thompson wasn't playing.
Yeah.
So you tell me, is it Steph Curry or is it Klay Thompson? Or is it the combination of both, right? I'm just like, do y'all need, you need Klay on the court.
You do, but also Steph had a couple injuries. Draymond, I felt like he had a nick or two, and he was like, I'm just not going to even give my all.
Okay.
So we got to consider that too. They knew it was
Okay.
a losing season, so they didn't really, I don't feel like they gave it their all during that patch of time when they didn't make the playoffs or go deep in the postseason.
Interesting. I was just like, oh my gosh. I think that the success of the Warriors is predicated on at least Draymond, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Those three. Do you think that they're a super team? Like, are they a big three?
They are. At least they were when they were on the championship run.
They were when they had KD. So was it a big four? I'm confused, right? What constitutes a big three when we're talking about the Warriors? Is it Klay, Draymond, and Steph Curry? Or was it KD, Klay, and Steph Curry when they won the championship?
Sure. Yeah, they were definitely a super team and a big four during that championship run.
Okay.
However, I don't know that I would consider the Warriors a super team right now today. Only because they haven't been successful for the last couple of seasons. And honestly, I don't think we know what the Warriors will look like once they finally get back together. I just don't know. I mean, they're older.
I don't care what anybody say. I don't care what anybody say. Age and injury history will change your whole trajectory of what you think your season will end up being. So it's different than 2015, 17, and 18.
Right.
So although that is a great success for the Warriors, we cannot use that as their measuring stick of what's to come. We just can't. Because they're missing a core piece of what 2017-18 was, and that was KD. We cannot, let me tell you, you cannot discount that.
Now, KD had his injuries, right? And he came back like nothing ever happened. I'm hoping Klay Thompson can do the same because he's been off 2 full years, like huge, major injuries. The injuries you do not want as a basketball player. He's had them both back to back. So I don't know. I don't know about his ability.
And we have to know that even though he's going to be coming back around Christmas Day, it's going to take him a minute still. It's going to take him a minute still, right? Yes, he still may be able to shoot and all that, but the whole process of the game and the time spent on the court during a game, it's going to take Klay a minute. We probably won't see Klay emerge back to a resemblance of his old self until the second half of the season.
Right when they need him to.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is that don't expect, him to just come back and be like 2018. You're not about to see that. It's not about to happen.
I know. I hope his shot is still there because even with the injuries, he could still, just shoot, and that's what he's known for. But he also is a really good cutter and slasher that he was not able to work on during his injury the last 2 seasons,
Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about who the Warriors added to their roster real quick. We know Iggy is back. How old is Iggy now? 37 or so?
Iggy's back for defense only.
Go ahead. Yeah, they also picked up Otto Porter Jr. I thought that was a really good pickup.
Yeah.
And then Bajelka, I know he went lights out. He played for the Sacramento Kings, your favorite squad. Went lights out one game, like maybe 1 or 2 seasons ago. And then they got Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga from the 2021 draft.
Yeah. Jonathan did pretty well in the summer league, but we'll see what it looks like. Once. The season begins. Summer league is one thing.
Yeah, no.
The regular season with experienced professional basketball players, something totally different.
Yeah, grown men.
You better ask James Wiseman.
Speaking of James Wiseman now, to finish up last season, he had a terrible injury. We didn't really get to see him much. What are you expecting from him?
Oh, he got to come out with balls blazing. He got to get it in. If he doesn't, because he was expected to really do some things in his rookie season. Didn't happen, injuries and all of that. But this next season, this is it. He got to show improve, and the Warriors need him to. They need him to, and he has the skills to do it. He just needs the time. And so hopefully he'll have enough time. He'll be able to play the full season. And if the Warriors go into the postseason, he'll even be able to play then. So I expect big things from James Wiseman, which is what I anticipated when he had his rookie season. So
yeah. I think the Warriors even threw his name into trade talk. So I don't know if they really believe in him as their future center.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. You know what though? But let's be honest. If you're not a superstar in the team, anybody can be tradable. Anybody on any roster his name can be thrown in the hat to be traded. So,
Yeah. Okay. So now the individual comparisons with Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook. We know Steph doesn't play any defense. He's going to give you offense all day long. But Russell Westbrook, just like his comparison with Chris Paul, he's just going to overpower both guards. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, absolutely. They when we're talking about strength, agility, force, dominance.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook has all that sewn up. You're not going to see that in Chris Paul, nor will you see it in Steph Curry. But what they will do better than Russell Westbrook is shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. And so, it just depends on how the coach decides to utilize those skills that are to their advantage to help the team win. And we know that if Steph Curry remotely gets his shot, it's over. And then don't let Klay. Oh.
I know. Don't let Klay get started. We talked about Steph and Klay, but what is going on with Andrew Wiggins? Former number one pick. What?
Is Andrew Wiggins coming off the bench?
I think he's going to start. You think they're going to start Otto Porter instead? He should start. He's the former number one pick.
What that mean?
Man, that's embarrassing. Andrew Wiggins coming off the bench?
Okay, so then who could be their starting lineup? I haven't seen what their projected starting lineup is, but if I had to guess, it would be Steph Curry, Draymond Green. This is pre-Christmas, right? So not with Klay. Steph Curry, Draymond Green. I think they'll put Andrew in Iguodala.
What?
Yeah.
He is a fan favorite.
Yeah, and then Andrew Wiggins can play, of course. And then maybe James Wiseman.
Yeah, Wiseman. Kevon Looney waiting to get his minutes, but we can't go with Looney over Wiseman.
Not to start. No. Looney is, I'm not going to say it, never mind. But yeah, we cannot. Looney will get time. Of course, he always does.
I have Steph, Andrew Wiggins, Otto Porter, Draymond, and James Wiseman.
Okay.
That's my projection.
Okay. Yeah. So once Klay comes in, who's getting the boot? Because Klay is going to start. He has to.
Yeah. So Klay will play the 2. Okay. And then Wiggins will drop down to the 3. That's my projection.
Okay. And although I'm quite sure when Klay comes back, he'll come back with restricted minutes. So until they build up his stamina. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just think that when we're talking about them, the Warriors measuring up to the Lakers, what do you think about that?
I'm not sold because the Warriors are a mystery right now. And some could argue the Lakers are too. We haven't seen them all play together.
No, we haven't. That's facts.
But you know what? I don't think they can. I don't think the Warriors can measure up. They'll be exciting to watch. I think they have a tall mountain to climb. I think Coach Kerr, I think he kind of showed us that he doesn't really know how to coach when the whole squad isn't ablazing. I don't think Steve Kerr really knows how to mix and match and put things together to win games. He showed us that last season, did he not?
Well, why don't we just let Draymond coach on the floor? Just let him do it. He does it anyway. Y'all listen to Draymond. Don't listen to Steve Kerr.
I'm just saying, though, I'm not sold on Steve Kerr. He's been there for a long time. I think he's very comfortable. And this year, with everyone back, if he's not successful, I think Bob Myers and them need to sit him down.
So I don't think that the Warriors will miss Kelly Oubre.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he got traded. I don't think they'll miss him. I just don't know if they have enough to compete in the postseason. Again, regular season will have you believing that team is going to win the championship. And that postseason hits, and then you're like, what happened? So
Yeah.
so we'll see. But I just think that the Lakers veterans, age aside, will still be more efficient, more effective in a 7-game series than the Warriors.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. Do you have the Warriors at least be in the top 6 though?
I don't know. I'll reserve my thought on that one. I gotta wait. I can't give you that right now. I don't know. Based off of this roster, I'm just uncertain.
Yeah, they're a big mystery, that is for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, you guys, we are going to wrap up this episode. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know what you think about this. Can the Suns hold a match to the Lakers? And can the Warriors compete or measure up to the Los Angeles Lakers as well? Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys on the next one. But until then,
peace.
Peace, y'all.